Greetings, fellow cinephiles. Welcome back to Marvelous Videos, and boy, do we have a treat for you. Today, we will explore all the movies set to release in 2025 by our favorite production house, A24, which has previously spoiled its fans with spectacular movies like Lady Bird, Moonlight, and Midsommar. So, no doubt we're all seated in the theaters waiting for the next hit. That's enough beating around the bush. Now let's dive right in.
Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
I saw the video.
Yeah, don't worry about it. He's dead now, so it's okay.
On Becoming a Guinea Fowl. Set to be released on March 7th of this year, On Becoming a Guinea Fowl first premiered in the 77th Cannes Film Festival of 2024 and has already earned the approval of critics. Rungano Neoni, the writer and director of the movie, also bagged the Best Director in the prestigious film festival. This surreal movie centers around the death of Uncle Fred, a sexual predator. Shula, his niece, is the first to discover his body on the road, and she is tasked with arranging his funeral with her cousin, Nasansa. Shula tries to get help from her father, but she is of no use, and her mother is caught up with largely performative grief. While his history as a sexual predator begins to come to light, her family members assign blame to his widow, claiming that she didn't look after him well and see to his needs. The dark comedy aspects of the movie, coupled with the exploration of difficult themes like family connections, grief, and dealing with trauma, are sure to make for an intense cinematic experience.
Are you sure you haven't been drinking with us?
Okay.
Opus. Mark Anthony Green's feature directorial debut Opus is all set to grace the silver screen on March 14th. Ariel Eddington, played by everyone's favorite Ayo Edebiri, is a young writer in a magazine who is awarded the story that would kickstart her career. She is invited to the secluded house of Moretti, played by John Malkovich, who never disappoints, a pop star who disappeared off the limelight 30 years ago. As her colleagues are all envious of Ariel, she sets off on what might one expect to be a glamorous work venture, but she's soon creeped out by the cult-like environment of the pop star's house. His followers, or disciples to be more accurate, all seem to wear the same blue clothes, and one of the women she meets there tells her everyone needs to be shaven. She isn't given any privacy whatsoever as cameras are set up virtually everywhere, and one of his blue-robed members follows her everywhere. The trailer is extremely enticing, and we are already adding this movie to our must-watch list.
You're gonna kill us.
I'll do whatever I have to take care of you.
Death of a Unicorn. Elliot is heading to his boss, Del Leopold's mansion with his teenage daughter, Ridley, when he crashes into a unicorn. Not knowing what else to do, Elliot loads up the unicorn into his car and arrives at Leopold's mansion, where they seize the animal and begin experimenting on it. As the Leopolds are in the pharmaceutical business and unicorns are blessed with powers to heal, they synthesize a cure for cancer using the creature's blood. Ridley tries to warn the others about the harm they will suffer if they don't let the unicorn go, but of course, like all money-hungry oligarchs, the Leopolds are deaf to her warnings. Soon, the unicorn's mate shows up, and he is far from the cuddly, majestic white mare the Leopolds were torturing. This steed is huge and has dark fur, and it begins hunting down the Leopolds as revenge. Starring Paul Rudd, who himself is a mystical creature, which can be an explanation to how he miraculously never ages. Death of a Unicorn seems to provide commentary on capitalism that rides on the death of nature and humanity. As to the fate of the Leopolds, we can only find out on March 28th when the movie will be released. Warfare. Ray Mendoza, a retired U.S. Navy SEAL, has partnered up with Alex Garland to write and direct Warfare, a movie based on his experiences in the Iraq War. The primary focus of this movie is the Battle of Ramadi, which big-budget movies have largely ignored. For those of you who aren't aware, the Battle of Ramadi was a major part of the Iraq War, which went on from March 2006 to November 2006. The primary focus of the battle was to gain control of the capital of the Al-Anbar Governorate, the largest governorate in Iraq. The battle witnessed the first death of an American Navy SEAL in Iraq and is considered one of the bloodiest battles in the history of Iraq. Warfare follows the tensions of war in real time and is complete with an ensemble cast of Will Poulter, Kit Connor, Noah Centineo, Charles Melton, Joseph Quinn, and many more. If you like historic war films, you should bookmark this film and head to the theaters on April 11th.
You're not like they say.
The Legend of Ochi. Carpathia is a small island on the Black Sea which suffers from the wrath of beasts called Ochis. Boys of this village are sent to train at a young age so that they grow up to protect the village from Ochis. Yuri, a young girl, comes across a baby Ochi who is wounded and separated from its pack. She befriends the baby Ochi despite strict warnings from the adults over her and sets out on an adventure to reunite the Ochi with its family. As she heads out, her father, an Ochi hunter, who is responsible for training the young boys, mistakenly assumes Yuri had been kidnapped by the creatures and gathers up his class to rescue her. This is the crux of the heartwarming film, The Legend of Ochi, which stars Willem Dafoe and Finn Wolfhard, and is written and directed by Isaiah Saxon. Primarily shot in Romania, the movie is a feast for your eyes as it is filled with mesmerizing landscapes of mountains, valleys, and lakes. A fun adventure movie for the whole family, The Legend of Ochi set aside some time for your family after April 25, so you can all experience the movie together.
I don't wish to continue this friendship.
Friendship. Craig Waterman is a loner, and there's no doubt about it. He has a set routine. He goes to work, comes back, and sits on his chair every day with his only friend, his phone. This all changes when he gets a new neighbor, Austin Carmichael. Austin invites Craig to dinner at his home and immediately accepts him into his friend group. Craig, who didn't have many friends, begins to enjoy the beauty of friendship with Austin and his gang. They sit together with a couple of beers, talking about their problems, sharing their happiness, singing songs, and Craig begins to enjoy it. It all comes to an abrupt halt when Austin decides to break the friendship out of nowhere, telling Craig that it would be better if they both go different ways. Disappointed, Craig takes some rather unconventional methods to convince Austin to let him back into the group. The plot of Friendship might seem simple and straight enough, but it is everything but. The trailer has a foreboding tone, and it is A24 we're speaking about, so we're not really sure where the movie will go. But we do know where we're going on May 9th, when the movie, which no doubt will be a hilarious dark comedy, will release. Eddington. With movies like Midsommar, Hereditary, and Boo is Afraid, we have come to expect nothing but perfection from Ari Aster, which is why even though we know very little about this next movie, it is at the top of our anticipatory list. Eddington, which stars TikTok's Zadie Pedro Pascal, Joaquin Phoenix, Austin Butler, and Emma Stone, is going to be a contemporary Western film. All we know about the plot of the movie is that it is about a new sheriff of New Mexico who has huge plans and aspirations. Aster initially intended to make this movie his directorial debut before setting on Hereditary. According to reports, he has tweaked the original script so that it is set during the COVID pandemic. As we eagerly wait for new updates on Eddington, do let us know if you have any theories about this flick. Marty Supreme. Timothée Chalamet is undoubtedly at the prime of his career as he is making back-to-back hits with his movies Wonka and Dune. He might have another feather added to his crown with Marty Supreme. Directed by Josh Safdie, where he takes on the role of a table tennis player. Inspired by the real-life ping pong player Marty Ryman, the champion of the 1958 and the 1960 U.S. men's singles, Marty Supreme is a fictionalized adaptation of his life story. Safdie has gone out of his way to achieve perfection in this movie, as Chalamet was personally coached by Diego Schaaf, a professional ping pong coach, and Wei Wong, a ping pong Olympian. The movie has been kept a mystery till now, but we know it will be out by Christmas this year. Bring Her Back. If you enjoyed the 2022 horror film Talk to Me that explored the creepy mannequin hand which allowed the user to communicate with the dead, we have some good news for you. Danny and Michael Filippo, the brains behind Talk to Me, have announced a collaboration with A24 Movies called Bring Her Back, and are going to have Sally Hawkins and Billy Barrett play the lead roles. There are barely any details about this movie, but we will be sure to keep you in the loop as soon as we find out anything more. Our imaginations are running wild with the theories. Perhaps it's about losing a loved one and bringing her back from the dead, or maybe it deals with someone getting lost in the afterlife and the protagonist bringing her back. Your guesses are as good as ours. The Smashing Machine. Mark Kerr, the two-time UFC heavyweight tournament champion and the NCAA Division I champion, has led an illustrious life as a wrestler and mixed martial artist. Even as a child, Kerr dreamt of participating in WWF and participated in mock matches with his siblings. He went on to win the World Vale Tudo Championship Tournament, the Super Fight Championship, the World Cup, and won silver at the Pan American Games. His life was recorded in the 2002 documentary by John Hyams titled The Smashing Machine: The Life and Times of Extreme Fighter Mark Kerr. The documentary showed the difficulties of the life of a wrestler and Kerr's journey in the profession, as well as overcoming his addiction problems. In news, the delighted Mark Kerr fans, the documentary is going to be adapted into a film in 2025, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Kerr and Emily Blunt as Dawn Staples, his then wife. Blunt has exceptional talent in subtly stealing the limelight from the protagonist with her incredible acting, as was demonstrated in Oppenheimer, and we can't wait to see how she'll approach the role of Staples. The Rock is perhaps the perfect fit for the role of Kerr, as his own past as a wrestler will be a treasure trove of experiences that will help him in preparing for this role. Only a sneak peek has been revealed of the movie, where we see Johnson in the role of Kerr, and kudos must be given to the makeup team who had flawlessly executed Kerr's look. Materialists. Celine Song has donned her director's cap for the 2025 romantic comedy Materialists, starring Dakota Johnson as a matchmaker who gets caught up in a convoluted love triangle with an ex-boyfriend and a rich businessman. You shouldn't mix business with pleasure, and the matchmaker is about to learn this lesson as her love triangle begins affecting her clients. Shot on 35mm film stock, the movie is also going to star Chris Evans, aka ex-Captain America, and Pedro Pascal, the internet's beloved. Our imaginations are running wild as the filmmakers haven't given us much of a clue. Perhaps Chris Evans plays the ex-boyfriend while Pascal is the dazzling new man in town, trying to steal Dakota Johnson's heart away. Fun fact about this movie, all the three leads have played important roles in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Dakota Johnson was Cassandra Webb in the 2024 movie Madam Web. Chris Evans is, of course, Captain America, while Pedro Pascal is going to be Reed Richards of Mr. Fantastic in the new Fantastic Four. The drama. A24 seems to be focusing on romance this year, as another rom-com, The Drama, is scheduled to be released in 2024. The drama will have Robert Pattinson under the direction of Christopher Borgli. Ari Aster has also contributed to the script of this movie, and shooting locations include Boston, Massachusetts, and the United Kingdom. The acting chops of both Zendaya and Pattinson are unbelievably amazing and should be enough to get the theaters full. Although shooting concluded in early December of last year, we're yet to see trailers and a release date. Eternity. If you could spend forever and ever with only one person, who would it be? And where would you spend it? Quite a difficult question, right? It would take us half an eternity to even consider our options. Based on this very concept is David Frame's next film, Eternity. Joan, Larry, and Luke have just 1 week to decide where they would spend their eternity, but to them, where is not as important as who they get to spend it with. Written by Pat Cunane, Eternity's primary cast is made up of Elizabeth Olsen, who won our hearts with her portrayal of Scarlet Witch, Miles Teller, best known for his role in Whiplash, and Callum Turner, who you may recognize as Newt Scamander's brother from the Fantastic Beasts movie. While we wait for more details on this movie, why don't you tell us where you would like to spend eternity? Our comment section is waiting for your answer. Sorry Baby. Eva Victor is a one-man army in Sorry Baby, as she has written, acted, and directed this film, which has already earned thumbs up from the critics. The movie received critical acclaim when it premiered at the 2025 Sundance Film Festival. The plot of the movie revolves around Agnes, who is portrayed by Victor. Agnes is a 20-something literary genius who is studying in a prestigious university. Professor Decker, her thesis advisor, makes a pass at her, and Agnes considers her options and even seeks out the advice of her roommate, Lydia, before deciding to go for it. Unfortunately, the professor sexually assaults Agnes, and all the moments in her life from then on are tainted by this horrible experience. Victor explores this deep and heavy topic with a tinge of satire, which is a winning combination, as people are already prophesizing that Sorry Baby is going to be the most talked about film in 2025. Victor was awarded the Waldo Salt Screenwriting Award for this exceptional script, so keep an eye out for the release date. You don't want to miss this one. If I had legs, I'd kick you. If you think life is hard for you, wait till you hear about all the stuff Linda is going through. Her daughter is suffering from a mysterious illness without a cure, and she has to care for him alone thanks to her absent husband. Her therapist seems to hate her, and she gets involved with a missing persons case as well. Linda has to navigate life as all this happens and her life falls apart in front of her. Although this might seem a bit depressing, this is the plot of the comedy film If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, which premiered on January 24 of this year at the Sundance Film Festival. The reason we're sure that this will be a riot of a movie is because it stars Conan O'Brien in an important role. And have you ever seen something that had Conan and it wasn't funny? Well, we don't think so. Written and directed by Mary Bronstein. The movie stars Rose Byrne as the protagonist. Although the release date is yet to be announced, you can catch the movie at the 75th Berlin International Film Festival in February 2025, where it will compete against international films for the Golden Bear. Mother Mary. Anne Hathaway broke a major part of the internet when a photograph of her from the sets of Mother Mary was released. Dressed completely in golden, Hathaway sported a grand crown while wearing a dress that made her look like a modern regal woman. Buzz began to spread about her role in Mother Mary, where she plays a pop star musician who falls in love with a fashion designer. We will be very honest with you, we don't need any other reason for going to this movie other than Anne Hathaway as she is serving Mother with just one picture. Written and directed by David Lowery, the movie will star Michaela Cole as Hathaway's love interest. Filming wrapped in mid-July of 2024, and we are on tenterhooks as we wait for the trailer to drop.
Is this not alarming to you?
Marvel's verdict. And these are all the movies that A24 has lined up for 2025. Personally, can't wait to see each and every single one of them as we clear our calendars to go buy popcorn. Which one of these movies is at the top of your list? Do let us know in the comment box down below.
If you enjoyed this video, click on the like button and comment below about which other movie reviews you would want to watch. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.